In this video, I want to walk through some of the problems that we did in class involving writing equations of parallel lines. You might see a question like this, where it asks you to write an equation for a line passing through a specific point and parallel to a given line. Whenever they ask you to write an equation for parallel or perpendicular lines, again, I want you to identify which type of line. They said parallel, so we're going to write parallel slope. This is the symbol for parallel. And then x1, y1. And that's going to be the specific x value from a point and the specific y value from the given point. So -4, -3. Now, in order to find the parallel slope, I have to sometimes convert the equation that's given, the linear equation, into slope-intercept form. Basically, we have to solve for y. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation, leaving -y, and be careful to include this negative sign. People forget that often, so just be careful and make sure to include it. And now we have to divide by that -1 so that y is really by itself. Y equals 2x minus 2. Now that we have the equation in slope-intercept form, we can find what the slope is. Remember, that's the coefficient of the x term in slope-intercept form. And so the slope is 2. That now we'll use to find a parallel slope. Now remember, parallel lines have the same slope. So if the slope of the given line was 2, the parallel slope is also 2. And now on the right side of the box, that's where I'm going to work with the point slope form of a line. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The purpose of this form of a line is to be able to write an equation simply, because we'll have our slope and then the specific x1, y1 from that given point. And all that information we have collected in the first box that we wrote in the middle of the page. So we'll substitute y minus -4 equals 2 times x minus -3. And from here, we're just going to simplify and clean this up a little bit. Y plus 4 equals 2 times x plus 3. This would be an acceptable answer because we have the equation of the line that they've asked for with the specific parameters they've given in point slope form. However, on some assessments, they might ask you to give the equation in a different form. So let's simplify solving for y to convert this new line that we have found back into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to distribute 2 to both terms in the parentheses. 2x plus 6 equals y plus 4. And now subtract 4. Y equals 2x plus 2. For our next example, we're going to be asked to do the same thing. Find an equation for a line through a specific point parallel to another line. So I'm going to get that box in the middle of the page. We need a parallel slope. My x1 was 3, My y1 was 4 from that given point. Now I have to find the slope of the given line. Well, this time they didn't even give us an equation. They gave us 2 points. There's point 1 and point 2. So on the left side, we're still going to identify the slope, but we're going to use that formula for slope given 2 points, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And substitute the y value from the second point, 3, and subtract the y value from the first point, 2. And the x value from the second point, -4, minus the x value from the first point, -5. 3 minus 2 is 1. -4 minus a -5, or -4 plus 5, is 1. So our slope could simplify to just 1. Again, a parallel slope is the same, so that is also 1. Again, using that point slope form of a line, we'll substitute from the initial box, gathering our given information. Y minus 4 equals 1 times x minus 3. And again, this would be an acceptable answer. However, often multiple choice type question again, you might need the line in a different form, or it might not be multiple choice and they ask you for a specific form of a line for your answer. So we'll simplify. We'll distribute a 1. Well, that'll just leave it as x minus 3. And so we're going to add 4 to both sides of the equal sign. Y equals x plus 1.